It is October the 21st, 2025, 6:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is What the Puck is Going On, Deep Ends coverage of the National Hockey League and looking at the full wagering slate on this Tuesday evening. Hello, I am Stephen Murray. Nephew Dave Metzger will be along here in a few minutes, and we'll get his take on things. All right, so welcome. This is our first show of the season. We are back for the first time since the playoffs, and we look forward to bringing this program to you every week on Tuesday nights, in which we usually have a full NHL slate. And we'll take some breaks. I know we got the Winter Olympics in February, so that'll be a break for us then. And then, we'll ramp it up for the playoffs as we always do. The offseason ever so short here for the National Hockey League. So let's take a look at everything that we've kind of endured so far. And everyone has played, for the most part, 6 or 7 games. A couple teams have played 5 games. And the one thing that I have noticed is, man, we got some streaks for sure out here. And then we also have a ton of injuries on this injury list. So let's look at the standings first, and then we'll go through the injuries. And we definitely have some surprises as we start the season. And what has been, I don't know, a somewhat high-scoring first week or two. Not really. There are definitely some teams who put the puck in the back of the net and allow a lot of goals who are trending well to the over. And then there are some other teams who just haven't done anything with goals really whatsoever. So let's kind of try to get caught up and see where we stand in terms of how these teams have been playing since we started the season. And we'll start with the Eastern Conference in the Atlantic. And right now, with 6 games played, 5-1 overall, we have Detroit sitting on top. They have played most of their games at home. They're 4-1, and they've won their one road game. They've only scored 20 goals, so just averaging a little over 3 a game. But defensively, they've been great. They've only allowed a little over 2 goals a game. That plus 6 and a 5-game win streak has them on top of the Atlantic in the Eastern Conference. The other team off to a good hot start in the Atlantic is Montreal. They are at 5-2, 10 points for them as well. 3-1 at home, 2-1 on the road. After that, we kind of drop off to around 500. The Maple Leafs are 3-2-1. Florida's 3-4. Boston 3-4. Buffalo has not been good. They've just they had 2 goals, I think, through 4 games, and have since opened it up a little bit. But they are 2-4, sitting right there in 6th spot. Ottawa has been a letdown, 2-4 overall for them. And then the Lightning, 1-3-2, 2 overtime losses for the Lightning. Losers of 3 in a row now are Tampa Bay. All right, so some of the teams that we usually see towards the top are at the bottom, and a couple of the teams that are usually towards the bottom are sitting at the top in the Atlantic. And the Metro, Carolina has been as good as it gets here in the NHL. They are 5-1, 1 loss on the road. They've scored 24, and they've only allowed 15 goals. So they're only giving up 2.5 goals per game, plus 9 puck differential for them. New Jersey, off to a hot start. They've been the team who's stumbled out of the gate here in the last couple of years. They are 4-1 just through the 5 games that they've played with 8 points. So they have some games that they can make up in hand for them. They won their 4 in a row since losing the opener. Again, another team, they're scoring goals up there in New Jersey. 19 for them in the 5 games. So that puts them at, almost 4 goals a game. So if you're taking them over 3.5, that seems to be doing okay. And they've allowed 15. Pittsburgh is a nice surprise. 4-2 for them. And they've done it on the road, 3-1 on the road for them. They've scored 18 goals and have given up only 15. So lower scoring team for them. They've been trending to the under for Pittsburgh. The Capitals are another team trending towards the under. They have the least amount of goals of everybody, I believe, right? 29 combined goals. They've scored 17. They've allowed 12. Yep, Utah is kind of in that boat with them, and really that's about it. Anaheim a little bit as far as lacking goals for sure. But the Caps, 2-2 at home, 2-0 on the road, fourth place in the Metro. The Flyers are a lower scoring team. Rangers are a lower scoring team. Those are your next two in a row there. 3-4-1 for the Rangers, 3-2-1 for the Flyers. So the Rangers have played 8 games. Columbus and the Islanders have just played 5 games. Both of those teams are 2-3. All right, so you would say that your surprises in the East are definitely Detroit. We expected Montreal, I think, to be decent, flirting with the playoffs last year. Maple Leafs are a perennial playoff team, sitting right there at third. The champion is Florida, struggling out of the gate, just below 500 for them. Carolina continues to be good. The Devils rebounding nicely after a couple of poor seasons. The Penguins trying to make a good hot start. I've heard a case that the Penguins were tanking the season already before the season started. So here they are, 4-2. And the Capitals, after a loss on Sunday, in which they rallied against Vancouver down 4-3 with that final score, were being shut out 4-0, but not quite enough to come back 4-2. They sit in fourth out there in the Metro. Okay, in the West, we have a couple of undefeated teams in regulation, at least. They've lost in overtime, but at least they've gained points. And that is Colorado and Vancouver. They sit on top of the Central and the Pacific, respectively. Winnipeg continues to be good. They're 5-1 and second place in the Central for them. Utah, after a slow start, 4-2 for them. Winners of 3 in a row. And we mentioned them, lower scoring team. They've just scored 17 goals through the 6 games, but they've only allowed 13, plus 4 for them. Chicago, look at Chicago, 3-2-2, 8 points for them. Another team who's used to being towards the bottom of the division. 22 goals scored in 7 games and 18 allowed. Still trending to be somewhat of an under team is Chicago. The Wild are trending to be an over team for the most part, considering their numbers have been around 5.5, 3-3-1 for them. So they're sitting at 500 and right there in the middle of the Central. The Blues are 3-2. The Stars are 3-2. Look at the Stars all the way back in 7th place at 3-2. They've only played 5 games, so games in hand for them. And they did lose 2 in a row after winning the first 3 out of the gates. And there's Nashville, 2-2-2. Losers of 3 in a row after a nice start for them. They need to right the ship for Nashville. But everyone in the Central is 500 or above at the end of the day. In regulation, you got the overtime losses where you're still gaining points. But 500 or above in regulation. All right, second place in the Pacific after the Golden Knights is Vancouver, 4-2. Then Seattle's 3-1-2. The Ducks 2-2-1. The Kings 2-3-1. I'm sorry, the Oilers are 2-3-1. The Kings are 1-3-2. So a poor start by them. We expected better things from San Jose, but they are 0-3-2. And the Calgary Flames 1-6. That is your pick-on team right now. Calgary has lost 6 in a row. San Jose has lost 5 in a row. The Kings have lost 4 in a row. The Oilers have lost 3 in a row. Golden Knights winners of 4 in a row. Vancouver winners of 3 in a row. The other streaks in the Western Conference back to the Central. We talked about the Predators, 3 losses in a row. Utah's won those 3 in a row. Winnipeg, 5 wins in a row for them, and Avalanche, 3 wins in a row for them. So a lot of streaks going on right now in the NHL. All right, and the surprise teams would be in the Pacific right now. Seattle and Vancouver, as they've kind of crept up, taking the place of the Oilers and the Kings, and then also Utah, Chicago. I mean, surprises in the Central over there, where Minnesota and Dallas, even not so bad records, are trailing them at the moment, points wise. So that Central looks like it could end up being one heck of a division here at the end of the day. All right, let's look at the injuries, and then we'll get into the slate of games for tonight. And we do have a decent amount of injuries. I'm just going to go team by team. I'll do the notables, and I'll just tell you if they look extremely banged up or not. Anaheim is fairly healthy amongst all these teams. Buffalo has 7 injuries right now. Most of them short-term, but they are banged up. Calgary is a healthy team. Carolina is pretty much healthy, but Shane Gostomsphere out for them right now. Chicago, just 3 injuries for them. Colorado, who's been banged up in past seasons, are doing good right now. Mackenzie Blackwood, their goalie, is the one who's the notable for the most part. Samuel Girard, the defenseman, as well. Columbus, 3 injuries for them. Dallas is banged up pretty good. Jamie Benn will be out for several more weeks, so they'll miss him. Lundqvist, Nils Lundqvist, out until November as well. So missing the guy in the back end, and then 3 of their centers, Duchesne, Back, and Wheatcroft, all out right now for Dallas. Detroit, Patrick Kane is the only player out. He's expected back soon. Edmonton, Matthias Janmark, Kasperi Kapanen, Zach Hyman, all injured, shorter-term injuries for them. For Florida, Dmitry Kulikov back in the spring, hopefully. Alexander Barkov back in the spring, hopefully. Matthew Tkachuk out until closer to the end of the year at least. Thomas Nosek out until the end of the year for the most part. At least they'll be evaluated in mid-December. So Florida with the most key injuries for them. Anze Kopitar for the Kings, expecting to miss a little bit more time for them. Other than that, the Kings are decently healthy. Minnesota, they're missing Zuccarello. We won't see him for another month or so. Strum is another long-term player out. 3 other players should be back soon. For Montreal, we're missing Kirby Dach as their key player. He should be back soon. Nashville, Jonathan Marchessault should be back soon. Relatively healthy is Nashville. New Jersey is banged up, though, even with the hot start. We have Jacob Markstrom out until November. These are all longer-term injuries for them, too. Zach McEwen, Kovacevic, Dandanov, Seamus Casey. All right, all players who are out for New Jersey who will not be back till at least next month or after the new year for them. Let's see. The Islanders, 5 injuries for them. The Rangers are missing Trocheck. He should be back in early November. Brady Tkachuk, another Tkachuk, is out. Matthew's brother, and he is out until mid-December. So that's a big injury for them. Thumb injury. Just that tricky thumb. Sidelining Brady Tkachuk here for another couple of months. Wow. Would I chop that thing off? Philadelphia, Ryan Ellis, Ethan Sampson, and Rasmus Ristolainen, and then all out until long-term. Ryan Ellis done for the season. Let's see. Pittsburgh, just a couple of injuries for them. San Jose is banged up pretty good. Carey Price, Logan Couture, Jonathan Klingberg, all players who are out. Couture is done for the season. Carey Price done for the season. Adam Gaudette day to day. Seattle players should be back. They got a mixed bag, but guys who should be back hopefully by Thanksgiving anyway. Brandon Montour is a shorter term injury for them. Kako out until November 8th to be reevaluated then. St. Louis with a trio of injuries. Tampa Bay with a trio of injuries. Toronto is relatively healthy. Utah is relatively healthy. Alexander Kerfoot is a nice player. He should be back soon, though. Vancouver, missing Philip Cheadle. These are all shorter-term injuries for Vancouver. Yeah, it looks that way. Jonathan Laker-Mackey should be around Halloween. We'll get him back. Vegas, 5 injuries for them, including Mark Stone and Alex Pietrangelo. Pietrangelo done for the season. Mark Stone back in early November. The Caps, Pierre-Luc Dubois is the only player mentioned for them. And then Winnipeg, we're missing Cole Perfetti, Adam Lowry, and Dylan Sandberg. Good players, all shorter term, though, back by Thanksgiving. Okay. So this is a banged-up NHL compared to the previous seasons that we've had. We have seen it a lot less volatile. Okay, let me get up the lines for tonight. Let's take a look. As we have moved to Tuesday nights because of the full Tuesday night slates, it just makes sense at the end of the day. So it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games tonight. Look at that. So a good slate. All right, so let's take our knowledge that we just looked at and let's try to apply it to this evening. And we have the Devils, who are a hot team at Toronto, who gives up a decent amount of goals, right? Toronto, let's see, they've given up 20 in 6 games. So that's not quite 3.5, but it's close. And they're scoring right around that themselves. So they are an over team. And New Jersey has been an over team as well, right? 34 goals in the 5 games for them. So that's averaging just about at 6.5. Now, we're at a 5.5 or an over-under. So I would say that this is probably an over game with New Jersey and Toronto, just the way that they've been trending so far. If we look at the team goals for New Jersey, over 2.5 is minus 148. I think you could put that on the ticket. Over 3.5 is at plus 166. All right, so that's a nice price. And that's one I may go with my primary play for tonight. I'm just playing pretty much one ticket on the busy nights here in the NHL. And that's it. So that's my commitment for the season. Maybe we'll play on these show days a goal scorer prop or two. I feel more comfortable about those the later we go into the season. But maybe for the fun of it, we'll go ahead and we'll get up a goal scorer one for this evening. And whatever that Amazon internet blackout thingy was, where a bunch of apps got destroyed, computer number 2 here in the studio has not been the same here since we've had that incident. I'm not sure what's up with it, so we have no music for this evening. Computer number 1, the more important computer that we're on now, seems to be functioning. So I think a safe bet is New Jersey over 2.5, but on the risky play at over 3.5 plus 166. Let's go ahead and give that a shot. Can this game get to overtime? If you want to play some overtimes on a ticket tonight and on a round robin of teams to get to overtime, I think that we can get that for sure. Let's see. Plus 320 to get to overtime tonight and what should be a tightly contested game. If we are looking for a goal scorer in this, I'm going to look at someone on the Jersey end. There's Timo Meyer at plus 210. Andre Plotz at plus 430. Let's see. Anyone else? Paul Cotter plus 850. Okay, so Jack Hughes plus 180 would be someone you might want to throw on a ticket. The young superstar for the Devils. Okay, we have Edmonton at Ottawa. Edmonton's minus 130, and the over-under is 5.5 in this game. Now, Edmonton has been a team that is kind of trending to the under. 15 goals scored for them, 18 allowed at a minus 3, and they're not doing so hot at the moment. So another notorious slow start for the Oilers, as that's a team in recent years that kind of gets hot outside the gate. Usually that takes a couple months for those guys to get the afterburners on, so to speak. All right, so our opponent tonight for Edmonton is Ottawa, correct? Yes, 2-4 for them. 50 goals scored in the games for Ottawa. The problem with them is they've only scored 20. They're allowing 30. So they're allowing a ton of goals. Is this just what the offense needs for Edmonton? I would probably say so. So Edmonton is someone you probably want to have on a ticket tonight to break out. So Edmonton, New Jersey, alternate puck line ticket is something I would probably add on there. At over 3.5, I get plus 132 for Edmonton tonight. If I'm going to take a look at a goal scorer, I mean, Draisaitl's plus 110, McDavid's plus 145. Nugent Hopkins is plus 240. That's a nice price. Evan Bouchard plus 440. And there are some new names on this Edmonton team. Adam Henrique is at plus 750. That's a nice price for a goal scorer tonight at Ottawa. So an opportunity here for Edmonton to get off the mat, so to speak. Ottawa presenting a wide open goal on the back end of things for them. The goalies listed in this game will be Linus Ullmark for Ottawa. So it's up to him to kind of get things squared away back there. And Stuart Skinner is the goalie for the Oilers. Wondering if over 5.5, you could probably take that as a over under as well. All right, we have the Seattle Kraken in Washington. Washington is minus 275 on the money line. Look at that. Over under is at 5.5. And we told you that Washington has been one of those teams or the team who has the lowest amount of goals scored in a game. So just 29 goals scored through the 6 games. That is less than 5 a game. And Seattle coming in. I put Seattle on a ticket. The last round of games we played, was that on Saturday, I think? Maybe not. Oh, I threw them in with the football. They played at the Flyers last night, and I had to come up with a little round robin with the football. So I added the Kraken at the Flyers, and the Flyers dominated them. So this is a back-to-back for Seattle. That was their first loss in regulation last night in Philadelphia. 18 goals scored, so that's 3 a game. 19 allowed, that's a little over 3 a game. So this game should trend to the under if everything kind of plays as it is. The goalies listed. And that's the thing. Seattle has a nice little goalie back there, but if he's not going to be back there, then maybe it's the door is open for the Caps. Logan Thompson is the only one I see listed. Let's see who played last night for him. So I think that's important. And if it's, let's see, Monday night. This is all homework I should have had done earlier. But the Kraken did lose last night 5-2. Let's see. Joey DeCord is the primary goalie, and Philip Grubauer is the backup. Grubauer, the former Cap, too, by the way. And the Caps seem to do well against their former goalies for sure. Now, it looks like Grubauer got put in for DeCord, so maybe out with a short rest, he gets another shot tonight. Yeah, he looks like he played just about 2 periods, 39 minutes, 30 seconds. And then the Grubauer played the last 20 minutes. So do they put Grubauer in net again tonight? I mean, you got to favor the Capitals at home here. I mean, are they going to be shut out a lot? I mean, that's a big number to cover. But I think we throw them on a puck line for sure for their team points. I mean, right off the bat, do we have 3 games where we could have, Jersey scoring a decent amount, Edmonton scoring a decent amount, and the Capitals scoring a decent amount? The Capitals over 3.5 goals is at minus 128, so that would be the play there. Over 4.5 is plus 196 if you want to play a super ticket. You get almost 2-1 on the Caps to get 5 goals. And if this against Grubauer, that's their former goalie, and they seem to do well against those. The Penguins and Canucks, just a coin flip game spread-wise, minus 111 for the Pens. Over-under is at 6.5, and that is juiced to the under at minus 130. So plus money on over 6.5 goals. Let's see. Back to our stats here. And Pittsburgh. Let's find them. 18 goals scored, 15 allowed in 5 games. So again, we're not knocking the doors off here. I mean, we're allowing minimal goals, scoring minimal goals. Seems like we have a few of these teams, and Pittsburgh is one of them right now. So will they break out at home tonight would be the question against a Vancouver team who's been good, right? Vancouver's been one of the better teams. Let's see. Yeah, second in the West. They've scored 20, and they've allowed 17. So this is kind of a mirror image of each other. Vancouver winning 3 in a row. This is a no play for sure, I think. We'll pass on this game as it looks very evenly matched. It said so on the line as well. Silovs is a new goalie to us for the Penguins. 23.5 is his total. And Kevin Lankinen is the goalie for Vancouver. So Canucks and Penguins should be a competitive game. We will pass by that one. Better plays on the board. The Sharks are at the Islanders. Neither of these teams appear to be decent. Minus 210 for the Islanders and the Sharks plus 172. Again, the Sharks are your one team who has not won a game all season. So an opportunity for them to get off the snide against the Islanders, who are just 2-3 in 15 games. They've only scored 16 goals, and they've allowed 19. In the 5 games for San Jose, we have 38 goals scored. So we have over 7.5 goals scored per game for the San Jose games. So an opportunity for them and the Islanders to be a sneaky over game per se. We'll pass since this is on the road for San Jose. Excuse me. And although 2-3, we're not sure how the Islanders may act here in terms of trying to run away with this thing on some kind of slanted score. So better plays on the board with the Sharks and the Islanders. The struggling champion Florida Panthers are at Boston. Is Boston a nice little surprise so far? I believe they are mid-tier, 3-4, 2-1 at home, 1-3 on the road. They've lost 4 in a row. They were a nice surprise until they lost 4 in a row. So they are struggling. Florida is struggling as well. These two teams are combined for 8 losses in a row. Florida with 4 themselves. And quite simply, the puck's not going in the net for either one of these two. The Panthers have 15 goals in 7 games. The Bruins have 21 goals in 7 games. And they've each have actually been decent defensively, allowing 22 for Boston, just right at 3 goals a game for them and right at 3 goals a game for the Panthers, who have allowed 20, but they're not scoring. So this looks like a dead under game, right? 5.5 is at -110 for this one. Yes, we'll lean under with the Panthers and the Bruins. Now watch, this will be the 6-5 game. But neither one of these teams have been scoring. So we'll just go ahead and leave that there. Do I want to take 3.5 or 4.5 with the Caps? I know 4.5 is going to be that's going to be, I don't want to start betting teams to get 5 goals. Although we get nice prices all the time with them. Still, when you have 1 goal at the end of the first period, you're like, please, guys, we're dragging here. But, you get 3 goals in the first period, then you're off and running to that number for sure. The Caps are -126 over 3.5. I'll throw that in for now, and I might take over 4.5 at 2-1. You know what? I mean, we're getting double the money. Let's just take the over 4.5 and hope for the best. So out our tickets so far, we have Jersey over 3.5, Edmonton over 3.5, Capitals over 4.5 at a nice almost 18-1. All right, Kings and the Blues over under 5.5, -130 for the Blues, +110 for Los Angeles. And again, 2 teams who've kind of struggled out of the gate here. Well, you can't say St. Louis has struggled. They're 3-2, just at the bottom of a competitive division at the moment. But they've only scored 3 goals a game, 15, and have allowed 18. So it is big group of teams who are trending ever so slightly to the under here. And let's see. They are hosting the Kings, who have been an issue themselves, right? 1-3-2, scoring 17 goals, allowing 24. So they're allowing 4 goals a game and scoring just 3. So that's the Kings' problem. They can't score, and they've fallen apart on the back end, where they've been a nice defensive team and winning on defense. That has not been the pattern for them yet this year. So on the road tonight, is that a formula to get correct here for St. Louis and come hard? Let's see. The St. Louis goals at home, and eventually they're going to get the 4, right? So over 3.5 was at +134. Interesting. That is interesting. Man, I want to do some dubious stuff on these plays tonight. Over 2.5 is at -182. The Kings leaky just on the back end here. Let's see, our goalies for this game is Jordan Binnington. He's the only one I have listed for the Blues at the moment. Let's see, when's the last game out for the Kings? Are they on back-to-back? No. Sunday. Nope. Both of these teams are going to last play on Saturday. The Blues beating the Stars 3-1, and the Kings losing to the Hurricanes at home 4-3. Okay. I'm going to lean with St. Louis goals here at home. Home fans behind them. Jordan Binnington, I would favor over the whatever goalie the Kings have to offer tonight. Let's see. That should be. I mean, I would think that it would be Copley. I mean, I don't know. We have Darcy Kemper as a spot. I mean, they got 4 goalies on roster right now due to the Kings. So they're trying to figure that out themselves. We'll see who we get behind the goal tonight. Yeah, give me St. Louis with all that uncertainty with the Kings. So this is a game that's lined where you can take St. Louis minus 130 straight up or minus 184, minus 1.5. Maybe the 60-minute line is the way to approach it as you get plus 120 with a St. Louis on that. So we'll trust the Blues at home. A game of wannabe teams who just want to be better with Anaheim and the Predators. And Anaheim does have some fun little talents. Nashville is, again, a team that's kind of been scuffling a little bit here. So, and in recent years, 2-2-2 for them. So they've lost 2 of those 4 games that they've lost have been in overtime. They've scored just 15 goals. So that's 2.5 a game. And they've allowed 19, which is just over 3 a game. The Ducks have scored 14 goals. So that's almost 3 a game, and they've allowed 18, a little over 3 a game. So they lost 2 in a row. Nashville has lost 3 in a row. I think the thing to do on this one is to pass. The goalies listed. Saros for Nashville is the only one that we see listed at the moment. All right. Did either of these teams play last night? I don't think that we did. Did we? Anyone on the back-to-back? No, the Kraken are the only team as of now that we've talked about who are playing on a back-to-back. So we're not missing anything there. This is going to be a pass. Nothing on the Ducks and Predators for me. Columbus and Dallas. All right, minus 188 for Dallas, over under 6.5. Dallas started strong, and now they've struggled a little bit as of late, and we all want Columbus to be a decent team. Good goalie matchup here. I mean, Merzlikins has been a good goalie for the most part. Jake Ottinger, we know that he's decent goalie for Dallas. So Ottinger and Merzlikins, the 2 goalies. Again, in the dissection of goals here, Dallas in their 5 games have scored 19, which is about 4 a game, but they've allowed 18, a little over 3, and they've lost 2 of those games, most recently to St. Louis the other night. And then Columbus, 2-3-0 for them. They've scored 14 goals, which is not quite 3 a game, and they've allowed right at 15, 3 a game. So they've been a lower scoring team too, have been the Blue Jackets, trending slightly to the under with a minus 1 goal differential for them. You got to favor Dallas on home ice here, but I mean the line's going to be so out of whack in that regard, right? Minus 188. It's a pass. We won't play this game. Game that you would want to go over and be fun. The goalies are just too good. So it'll be a pass overall here. Utah will get a nice test at home from Colorado. The Avalanche minus 150, Utah plus 125, over under 5.5. Utah is your second lowest scoring team in the league behind the Capitals, and in terms of goals allowed as well. And the Avalanche, averaging right at 5 goals a game, offense and defense. They won 5 in a row, or they've won 3 in a row, losing just 1 game in overtime is their only blemish. So Colorado is basically the best team in the league right now. And Utah is a team that is up and coming, 3rd place in their division. So this is a true test for Utah here, and a good state border war, right? Colorado and Utah should be a fun matchup. At least it should be a lot of energy in Salt Lake City tonight for this game that starts at 10:10. If you have the hockey package, then I would go ahead and jump on that and watch that late night if you have nothing else better to do. So most of the action is right there in the 7 o'clock slate of games. We have 3 games at 8 o'clock and then 1 lone game at 10:10 Eastern Standard Time tonight. All right, so we're going to go with 4 plays on our ticket. Yeah, I did not find anything else I liked. So we're going to take New Jersey over 3.5 team goals. We're going to take Edmonton over 3.5 team goals. We're going to take Washington over 4.5 team goals. And we're going to take the Blues at over 3.5 team goals. Now, the Capitals are the lowest scoring team in the league. So if you want to take over 3.5 goals or over 2.5 goals, I'm not going to blame you. If you want to leave them out, then Jersey, Edmonton, and St. Louis, who all make a lot of sense, pays 13.5 to 1 this evening. If you want to add on the Caps for just 2.5 goals, which would probably be the smart way to do things, then you're going to go from 13.5 to 1 to 17.5 to 1. So they're saying that's a layup for a team that doesn't score a lot of goals. That's what makes me like the over 4.5. And look, the line's moving. It's all the way down from plus 190 to plus 192 from plus 200 for over 4.5 capital goals. Over 3.5 is at minus 128. We get almost 25 to 1 for that. So I think that's the safe play and the safe way to do things. All right. Looks good. Looks fun. All right. So we'll take the Capitals team goals. We'll go 3.5 and 4.5 on 2 different tickets. The Blues over 3.5, Edmonton over 3.5, and New Jersey over 3.5. All right. If we need to throw a team into the penalty box, this is where I would queue up our referee sounder. But again, computer number 2 dead from the Amazon explosion. It just keeps counting down a 30-minute time clock. But if we do a team to pick on, then we are going to pick on, at the moment, the Calgary Flames for sure. They are the most deserving. San Jose, we expect better things. We'll cut them a little bit of a break for the moment. But Calgary at 1-6 overall has been very, very bad. So we'll fade them for the moment. Games tomorrow night. Flames will host the Canadiens, Sabres and Red Wings, Devils and Wild. And then we have a full slate back on Thursday. A couple of the better games that night. Hurricanes and Avalanche, Canadiens and Oilers, as we have a couple of 9 p.m. starts there. Let's see, Dallas and the Kings. Other games of notes. Penguins and the Panthers. Friday night is a short slate. Capitals and Blue Jackets will highlight that. Again, a chance to pick on the Flames with Winnipeg. Winnipeg should be on everybody's ticket when everyone's looking at the World Series on Friday night and college football, getting ready for football weekend. Your free play of the week right there. Take the Jets over the Flames. Lay the wood at home with the Jets. You have Devils home against Sharks as well. So a Devils and Jets ticket wouldn't be the worst. I'll be interested to see how high of a favorite the Jets will be in that game. And then on the Saturday slate, we have a full one again. Games to be noted on that slate, as we'll have games all day with the Islanders and the Flyers to start things off. Midday at 3 with the Avalanche and the Bruins. Ducks will be at the Lightning. Mammoth will be at the Wild. Blues and Red Wings. Rivalry with the Blue Jackets and Pens. Senators and Capitals. Hurricanes and Stars is a good matchup. Carolina, a little tough stretch there with the Avalanche and Dallas. 2 games in 3 nights. And then Sunday, let's see, decent slate on Sunday as well. Avalanche and Devils, Golden Knights and Lightning, Mammoth and the Jets. And then your get-out games for football will be Stars, Predators, Rangers, Flames, Oilers, and Canucks. And then do we have a week slate on Monday? Yeah, Blues, Penguins, and Bruins, Senators. And then we'll be back next Tuesday with another loaded card. We got games all night on Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be a good one. That's when we start actually early. We start right at 6 o'clock. So that'll be perfect with the Penguins and the Flyers. And then every 15 minutes, we have a new game as everybody will be playing next Tuesday. Yeah, every 15 minutes, we have a new game starting up. So that'll be fun. All right, good slate tonight. Again, our picks for tonight. One last time. And we're right about time for face-off, so we'll get out of here. But take over 3.5 goals for the Devils, the Oilers, the Kings, and the Capitals. Go ahead and make the Capitals over 4.5 as well. All right, any goal scorers for tonight? Let's go with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins for Edmonton. Let's take for the Devils. Let's go ahead and take. We'll take the favorite, Jack Hughes, and we'll go ahead for the Capitals. I mean, they haven't scored many, but you feel like it's got to be Ovechkin, right? At plus 120. So we'll throw Ovechkin on a ticket as well. Let's see. Do we want one in the Blues game? Jordan Kyrou, he's the favorite, plus 180. Dylan Holloway, a little bit harder in that Blues game. So maybe we'll just take those 3 goal scorers, Hughes, Ovechkin, and Nugent-Hopkins in those 3 games starting here in just a few minutes. All right, guys, race to the ticket window. Puck drops here in just a few. This is what the puck is going on here on the Deep End Broadcasting Network. There is no Sizzle Lean show this week. Karen's on vacation, and we will be back with the round robin Sunday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, your full wagering breakdown on the NFL slate. Okay, guys, good luck. Good night.